Good afternoon. Welcome to Grad 2021. Grads, would you please rise and join me in the singing of the national anthem? O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Please be seated. I wish you all out there watching this could have heard the grads belting out that national anthem. Man, they were brilliant. Good afternoon and welcome. I'd like to congratulate all the grads assembled here on the floor of the gymnasium today, and I thank you for allowing me to be here to celebrate this momentous occasion with you. Also, welcome to all of the family and other loved ones who would usually be here celebrating with us as well. We welcome you from wherever you are watching this event today. Know that you are truly missed, but we know that you're here in spirit. Many thanks to Ron Schmelik and all those who coordinated the technology so that it's possible to watch from all the different viewing stations today. Now, the first speaker today is the parent speaker, who is representing all of you who can't be here at this time. And it's my pleasure to introduce Mrs. Brandy Best to give the parent address.
Good afternoon, and welcome to FLESS's virtual grad. I would like to start by thanking the grad class of 2021 for giving me the opportunity to represent all of your parents as the parent speaker. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Brandy. I'm Tyson's mom and kind of Peyton's mom, and a mom or an auntie to a lot of the students graduating today. I've had the opportunity to watch all of these amazing young adults grow over the years. I've really enjoyed working with them. All of them are unique, kind, and caring individuals. Parents, guardians, you guys have done an amazing job. Be proud of yourselves and them. And for those of you graduating today, congratulations. All of your hard work has paid off. In just a few short weeks, you will be sent out into the world. I have a couple words of advice. Be bold enough to use your voice, brave enough to listen to your heart, and strong enough to live the life you've always imagined. Congratulations. I know there are many people out there that are so proud of each and every one of you, not only today, but every day. And here's a quote from Melanie White. Now that you've graduated, just remember, bosses don't usually accept notes from your mother. Congratulations.
Thank you, Brandy. I forgot to introduce myself at the beginning. My name is Jamie Nielsen, and I worked at the school for 30 years. And the next speaker is someone who who worked with when he first moved to the area, interacted with him when he was working out of Vanderhoof quite a bit, and he's someone who worked tirelessly on trying to stretch the parameters of what was going to be allowed today. At this time, it's really my pleasure to call forward the principal of FLESS, Mr. Brian Cross, to give the principal's message.
Thanks, Jamie. I'm going to open my time today by acknowledging that we're on the territory of the Stalatin and Notley-Witten, and to bring you best wishes from the Board of Education, School District 91, Nechako Lakes. Your accomplishments to this point are many, and your accomplishments to come are even more. So it's the 8th of September, 2016. It's 8:55 a.m. Got the new clothes, got the fresh haircut. It's the first day in a whole new place. There's lockers to learn about, new classrooms to find, new teachers to meet, and as much as this has been something to look forward to forever, it's utterly terrifying, and right before the first assembly gets started, the nerves start to kick in. At least that's how I remember my first day of your grade 8 year. I'm not sure where your guys' heads was at that day. To the staff who are here helping me out today, to the parents watching from their living rooms, the parking lot, and just maybe the Legion across the street, to our extended families watching from around the world, and finally to the 26 grads seated in this gymnasium, I offer a heartfelt thank you for the time you're giving up today to celebrate, and more importantly, for the time you've given over the past 13 years to raise such an outstanding group of young men and young women. Welcome to Grad 2021. I want the 26 of you to know how fortunate I've been in my career. The best part of a small school is the chance that it's given me to work with each of you, and more importantly, to actually get to know you over time. The best conversations we've had are often the ones that had nothing to do with school, such as discussing the merits of Space Wars versus Trek Star, or the benefits of using a wakeboard versus a potato gun at the biathlon. It's been a long time since I've had the opportunity to work with the same group for 5 years in a row, and I have to say, I really like how all of you have turned out. There is, however, a general consensus among the group that the less we speak about grade 9 today, the better. So instead, I'd like to talk about the importance of bringing all of you together for this ceremony today. As many of you know, we had 4 options for grad, and this setup was the only option we were given for a ceremony that would let all of you be together. And believe me, having you be together was the most important consideration I had. Within this group, there are a number of amazingly tight friendships, and in more than a few cases, they aren't just friendships. They've moved past friendship and moved to a place of unofficial family. Through knowing your folks on social media, I've got to watch this year as they've been posting old photos and reminiscing about who you were. What's interesting about the old photos is very few of them have been just you by yourself. The photos are class photos, playground photos, group photos, team photos, birthday party photos, and so on and so forth. And that's fitting. As a group, you've seen each other through your highs and lows and through good and bad. You've been the friend who said that when one of you grew up and was broke, they could live in the doghouse that your uncle was building. You've been the friend who, when you spilled your nerds all over the carpet, helped you pick them up and eat them one at a time over the space of 2.5 hours. You've been the friend who refused to let the other friend go to college early by themselves, so you both made us proud. You've been the friend who helped you get off the school sign when you got stuck on it during the beginning of the year grad photo, and who helped you line up alphabetically, which this grad class has learned does not mean from Wood to Werner. Maybe you've been the girlfriend who helped the principal make your boyfriend believe that we had a really awesome secret story to tell when there was nothing, and kept that secret going for 8 whole months. Now for the advice part of the speech. I spend the year gathering bits and pieces that remind me of the grad class, and then gloriously steal other people's great ideas and put my spin on them. So here we go. Number 1, whatever you must do today, do it with the confidence of a 4-year-old in a Batman cape. There's a lot of decisions you're going to make over the rest of your life. So many decisions. Make these decisions with confidence and conviction. Get a metaphorical cape, or if you so wish, a real one, and never be afraid to put it on. Number 2, walk away from the people that put you down. Walk away from the fights that will never be resolved. Walk away from trying to please people who will never see your worth. The more you walk away from the things that poison your soul, the healthier you'll be. Granted, that's a little harsh, but it's important advice. I'm not telling you to surround yourselves with yes men, but it's important the people you do choose to surround yourselves with are the ones who will see the spectacular worth that each and every one of you brings to the table every single day. Number 3, I hope that your inner voice is the kindest voice you know. Over the years to come, you are going to have many, many critics. Don't be the president of their particular fan club. Embrace your inner geek, embrace the dorky, odd person you are, and run with it. Number 4, remember that big things are achieved not all at once, but one day at a time. This one really hits home for me. Many of you over the last 5 years have sat in my office and told me you just couldn't do it. The fact that we're all here today, frankly, tells me that we were right and you were wrong. What it actually tells me is that you could do it, and sometimes you just needed some help breaking it into baby steps. And finally, to tie back to the theme of friends that are family, number 5, always remember, it's never about the size of your circle, it's about the loyalty that's in it. There are so many more stories to tell, and more importantly, so many more stories for you to make. And I have to tell you, I really wish I'd written this next bit. I hope there's days when your coffee tastes like magic, your playlists make you dance, strangers make you smile, and the night sky touches your soul. I want the 26 of you to know from the bottom of my very too small heart the thanks that I offer for every memory you've given me over the last 5 years. My life is infinitely better for having got to know each of you, and I selfishly get to offer you my congratulations on today. And I want you to know that we're cheering for the next 5, 10, 15, and 20 years of your life and the stories yet to come. Suan Re, Spa Deste, Inkezi. Be well, I'm proud of you, and I'm moderately fond of most of you some of the time.
Thank you very much, Mr. Cross. Elegant and eloquent, as usual. The guest speaker this year is someone who was not at FLESS for a really long period of time, but had a huge impact on the students and staff here during the time that he was here. It's my genuine pleasure to introduce by video a friend and colleague, Mr. Ryan Wyatt, to deliver the guest speaker address.
Hello to the graduating class of 2021. Congratulations on successfully making it across the finish line. This year has been unlike any other. Between the pandemic, the stress of completing your 12th year of education, and applying for what is to come next. Mr. Wyatt here, and I am honored to have been selected as your guest speaker for this graduating ceremony. I have decided to share 5 pieces of wisdom that I've learned along the way, some of them the hard way. So without further ado, I will take you through the list. Lesson number 1, you've got to take some swings. It won't always work out. As a matter of fact, more often than not, it won't. But when you look at every effort as an opportunity to learn and to grow, your time will never be wasted. Secondly, keep your friends close. Check in on them. Reach out to them when you need help. Help them move. Make sure to call instead of text. It's easy to lose touch when you go your separate ways, but good friends are worth the effort. Number 3, people aren't thinking about you as much as you think they are. Don't miss out on opportunities because you're afraid of what other people will say. Wear the silly t-shirt, join the dance class, talk to the new kid. The coolest people that I know and the coolest people I've met are the ones who weren't trying to be. Lesson number 4 comes from the Japanese culture and is the art of kintsugi. Kintsugi means to repair a piece of broken pottery with powdered gold. The meaning is that some things are more beautiful for having been broken. Whether you suffer a loss, are struggling with your mental health, miss out on an opportunity you desperately wanted, or disappointed someone you care deeply about, take some time to reflect and focus on how you will repair the fractures with gold and how you will be more beautiful for having been broken. Finally, be kind to yourself. So often we quickly show compassion and empathy to our friends and family, but not to ourselves. You will have bad days, you will make poor decisions. Life is messy. Dust yourself off, learn from it, and move forward. Sometimes the most valuable thing that you can have is a change in perspective. My time in Fraser Lake was some of the best years of my life. All of you that I was fortunate to meet have taught me something important: the value of community, the importance of friendship, and what it means to be a part of something bigger than yourself. I'm incredibly honored to have been chosen as your guest speaker and cannot wait to see the people that you grow up to become. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting their own battles. Finally, I have 2 special messages from some people you may recognize. Thank you again for this great honor. Be safe in your celebrations, and best of luck to all of you moving forward.
Hello, grad class of 2021. Congratulations on making it here. This is a very exciting day, and I found a quote by Emmanuel Acho that should tie into it quite well. The first thing I want you to know is I get it. I promise you, I get it, because I went through it. You're all a little unsure of who you are right now, unsure of who you're supposed to be, or who you're going to become. The road ahead seems very long and very unclear, and that's okay, that's life. But I promise you, you're going to be okay, because you have great people all around you to help you through your journey. Just take it one day at a time, one step at a time, and you'll be okay, I promise. Good luck, and congratulations again.
Class of 2021, you made it. The word unprecedented gets thrown around a lot lately, but what you guys have done the last few years has been just that. Although I only spent a short amount of time in Fraser Lake, it truly became like a second home for me, and a big reason for that is you. It's a truly special place with very special people, and always be proud of where you come from. My biggest piece of advice for you is to get out of your comfort zone, meet new people, and try new things. And if your friends call you and say, hey, want to move to a small town you've never heard of before, take that opportunity, because I promise you it'll be one of the best experiences of your life. Relationships and experiences shape who you are, so when you meet new people, share with them your culture just like you shared it with me. There's no right path in life, but choose the one that works best for you. I wish I could be there to be cheering you across the stage or waving at you from our front lawn as you drive by in the grad parade, but I hope this video conveys to you how grateful I am to have met each and every one of you. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Wyatt and friends. Brilliant, as usual. The next speaker is an outstanding student. That's clearly demonstrated by her position as valedictorian, but also an equally outstanding young woman. It's been a genuine pleasure to watch her grow and progress through the years, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce Lexa Sanders to give the valedictorian address, and she's also going to present the grad gift to the school. Lexa Sanders.
To my classmates and graduates of 2021, most of us have spent 6.5 hours a day, 10 months a year, for 13 years of our lives working toward this moment, to celebrate our biggest accomplishment yet with family and friends. Unfortunately, we have to sit 6 feet apart on the gym floor, don't get a dance or dry grad, and worst of all, our parents don't get to be here to watch. However, at least we get to be here together. With so much uncertainty all year, it has been nearly impossible to plan anything. So I'd like to thank Mr. Cross and Mrs. Dirksen, all of the FLESS staff, and all of the parents and guardians for your time in making this day possible. Do you remember coming to FLESS, the first day of grade 4, finding out who our first teacher was, their classroom, and going to the first day assembly? When we got to that assembly, almost breaking our necks, looking at that year's grade 12s, thinking, we'll never get there, 2021 is so far away, and how are those kids so big? I really felt that one. But we can't forget about Mr. Duncan yelling, "What day is it today?" in the cafeteria on Fridays, and having to walk to the computer lab twice because we were too loud the first time. I mean, we still get yelled at for being too loud in the hallways. Some things will never change. Then there's grade 7, when we felt on top of the world getting to lean against the bleachers. Not on them, just leaning. Now that I think about it, I don't know why that was so amazing. Did we have back problems or something? The next big step was grade 8 training with Mrs. Zhang, and did those timetables ever look confusing? Finally done elementary comes the first day of grade 8. So many changes. Figuring out which classroom is where and when to go to each one, along with those confusing Wednesday schedules. And barely getting lockers open. Don't forget about the first day assembly, where we got to sit on the front row of the bleachers, once again feeling tiny, thinking we'd never get to the top. On top of all these changes came with a new principal, Mr. Cross. I think it's safe to say the first time we met him, we kept our heads down and avoided him at all costs. Now we've made it to grade 12, no longer scared of Mr. Cross and knowing when he comes up to you with that look. And yes, you all know what look I'm talking about. You've most likely done something wrong, or he's heard about something you've done or said and takes the opportunity to make fun of you for it. We should have been on the top row of the bleachers this year, getting to overlook everyone. Who thought a global pandemic would be the reason why we don't get to? I don't want to say senior year was ruined, but we did miss out on a lot. From not getting to go to assemblies and sit on the top row of the bleachers, sporting seasons being canceled, having to share the grade 12 hallway, and wearing masks all day. Oh, and we can't forget about those 3-hour-long classes. It hasn't been ideal, but there have been some positives, including not having to write the numeracy assessment, no one could read our lips through our masks, only managing 2 classes at once, and having in-person schooling. Whoever thought that students would be wishing to go back to school rather than lay in bed and do it online? We wouldn't have gotten to this point without the incredible amount of support over the years. Thank you to all the FLESS staff members who have helped us on our worst days, celebrate accomplishments, and for having our best interests at heart, our at-home support for being in our corners, loving us unconditionally, keeping us in line, and pushing us to be our best, all of our peers who have made high school fun, entertaining, and the best experience possible, coaches and bus drivers who made sporting trips possible and memorable, and finally the community who has supported us and provided us with so many opportunities over the years. Before I finish, I'd like to say to all of you, appreciate the little things in life. The last 15 months have shown us how much we've used to take for granted, including our health, family, and friends. You never know when something unexpected is going to happen and take that away from you. As we go out and do great things in this world, be grateful for the opportunity to hug loved ones, go to work and have an education, eat in restaurants, or smile at a stranger. Don't take these things for granted as our lives begin to return to normal. Congratulations, we made it. And our grad gift to the school is a water fountain filler in the grade 12 hallway.
Thank you very much, Lexa. That was as brilliant as I anticipated it would be. And at this time, we have the grad audio-visual presentation. At this time, we apparently don't have the grad audio-visual presentation because maybe it didn't load. So, we come to the ultimate process here, why everybody paid the big bucks to watch this show today. The presentation of the graduates. For that purpose, I'd like to call Mr. Brian Cross, Principal, Mr. Mike Leduc, Vice Principal, Mrs. Heather Dirksen, and Mrs. Brandy Best to read the grad write-ups.
Haley May Allen. Haley came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. Haley would like to thank her parents for supporting her and making sure she had everything she needed to succeed. Her aunt for always being there for whenever she needed her, and Lexa for always being such a good friend and putting up with her since day one. Haley would like to thank Miss Dirksen and Miss Smellick for always believing in her, supporting her, and teaching her how to succeed in life. She would also like to thank Mr. Cross for embarrassing her and drawing attention to her all the time, considering he knows how much she disliked it. Haley will always remember English class with Alexa and the one time in Bio 12 with Annika. Haley plans to attend Thompson River University to get a Bachelor's of Arts with a major in psychology. Her last words are, "To accomplish great things, we must not only act, but also dream, not only plan, but also believe." Haley was awarded the district scholarship for her presentation in the area of community services. Haley is also the recipient of the Ralph Roy Memorial Scholarship, the Fraser Lake Sawmills Award, Debbie Amaro Scholarship, Paramedics of Fraser Lake Bursary, and the Connex Inclusion Bursary. Tyson Dominic Best. Tyson came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain. He would like to thank his mom for always making him go to school and telling him to do his best. He would also like to thank Miss Scar and Mr. Cross for always bugging him and telling him to do his work. Tyson would also like to thank Tyrell for always being a brother and Peyton for getting him to go to school. Tyson's favorite moments are growing up with the boys, grades 4 to 7, and watching time go by too fast. Tyson's future plans are to find a job and start a family one day. Tyson's last words are, "I wish I enjoyed it while it lasted." Aaliyah Marie Buckland. Sorry, Aaliyah. Aaliyah Marie Buckland. Aaliyah attended Mouse Mountain Elementary before attending Cataline Elementary and Columnese Secondary in Williams Lake before returning to FLESS. She would like to thank her mom for always making sure to put her in her place and push her to succeed. Aaliyah thanks her friends Tia, Ashley, and Lexa for helping her when she was struggling. She would also like to thank Scar, Dirksen, and Cross for helping her find her way. She will never forget Cross's Tia impressions. Aaliyah plans to attend post-secondary and earn a degree in social work. Her last words are, "Do it while you're young." Owen Nathan Dinsmore. Nathan has been at FLESS since grade 4. He would like to thank his mom Stella and his dad George. He would also like to thank his friends Garrison and Ty for always being there, and Miss Dirksen and Miss Scar for all their help. Nathan will always remember the 2019 10 Men Challenge and hanging out with the boys. He plans to make money, then die. Nathan's last words are, "All my homies hate avocados." Desiree Elizabeth Enns. Desiree came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. She would like to thank her mom and dad for being so supportive and understanding throughout this journey. She is grateful for how helpful and persistent you have been to her education. She would also like to thank Miss Scar, Mr. Cross, Miss Dirksen, and Mr. Schmelik for all of the fun memories and education. Desiree would also like to thank Cheyenne for always being there for her, for being her best friend, basically her sister or weird long-lost cousin, and her partner in crime. Desiree will always remember exam lunch blocks before COVID, school field trips, science, and math with Mr. Chan, and food with Mr. Wyatt. Desiree plans to attend trade school, move away, and get a puppy. Her last words are, "To each their own." Miara Talia Farrell. Miara came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. She would like to thank her entire family for always supporting her and her puppy for being so adorable. She would like to thank her friends Shay, Taryn, and Lexa for always being there for her since day one and always being up for an adventure. Miara would also like to thank her teachers, Mr. Ray, for giving her the freedom to do the projects she wanted to do, and Miss Lank for challenging her to do her best. Miara will always remember hikes with the family, hanging out with friends, and playing with her puppy. Her future plans are to buy a house, get a bachelor's of business, and create her own business, get a pilot's license, buy a plane, and fly all around the world. Miara's last words are, "And so the adventure begins." Miara is the recipient of the Mouse Mountain Parent Advisory Committee bursary and FLESS PAC Open bursary. Annika Winona Elvira Frew. Annika came to us from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. She would like to thank her mom and siblings for being some of the funniest and most annoying people on the planet. She would like to thank Mr. Cross for keeping her on track with E-Bus and for telling his funny stories, and Mr. Wood for being the best science teacher in the history of forever. Annika would like to thank her friends Mackenzie Laffin for being there for her and making her smile, even when things were hard, and Haley Allen for hanging around and listening to her talk nonsense for hours. Annika will fondly remember the time Mr. Wood would tell his bad dad jokes. They were actually really good. And that one science experiment with the test tubes, if you know, you know. Annika's plans are to go to university and become an environmental scientist, which is just another fancy word for saying the Lorax, and draw a whole lot. Her last words are, miraculously, all of the procrastination actually paid off. Who would have thunk? Don't tell Cross. Annika is the recipient of the Centera Gold Bursary, FLESS Grad, Nancy's Nibble Cafeteria Bursary, Alumni Scholarship of Fraser Lake, and the Fraser Lake Elementary Secondary Polvord, thank you, Merrill Scholarship. Oh, Lyric, I forget. Thank you. Lyric Decini Fulton. Lyric came to FLESS from Fort Fraser Elementary Elementary in 2012. She would like to thank her entire family and all they have done for her, specifically her mom and her grandma. They're goats. Lyric would also like to thank Cross, Scar, and Parsons. Without them, she would not have graduated, and thanks them for going above and beyond for her. She would also like to thank her lifelong siblings. You know who you are. Lyric has too many favorite memories to list. Lyric's plans are to build a weapon that would wipe out all of humanity and plant flowers at the same time as it is disintegrating us and everything we built. Her last words are, break it to them gently when you tell them you won't be coming home. Burton Cummings. Darius Mark Ginsmeyer. Darius came to FLESS in grade 4. He would like to thank his mom and his dad for all their support and for raising such a work of art. He would also like to thank Brandy and Scar for helping and motivating him through school, and for those great conversations. What they don't know can't hurt them, eh? He would also like to thank all of the boys. My bros, what else can I say? Darius will never forget childhood, when nothing else matters but happiness. Darius plans to make money, get a big house on the lake possibly, have a wife, some kids, and a dog. Who knows? His last words are, run it up. Supreet Goyle. Supreet came to FLESS from Rick Hansen's senior secondary in 2020. He would like to thank his cousins for helping him with his work, Adriana for helping him find his way through the school, Isaac for being really nice and always happy, Matthew for being a great friend and teaching him basketball. Supreet would also like to thank Mr. Wood for the amazing way he is able to teach hard things and make them seem easy, and Ms. Dirksen for helping him improve his essay writing and teaching him proper essay formatting. Supreet will always remember the moments during grad photos and after-school basketball practice. Supreet plans to become a maintenance engineer. His final words are, it was good to be here. I wish I had been able to come here in grade 10. I love this school and will miss everything here. Sergey Jonah Alexeyevich Isakov. Sergey attended Murray Hill Elementary, Pitt River Middle School, and Riverside Secondary before coming to FLESS in 2020. He would like to thank his dad for helping push him through school and giving him hard work ethics, his mom for all of the late nights helping him with his homework and catching him up. He would also like to thank Miss Sang for all of her help with the move up north and applying for college, and Mr. Ray for inspiring him to continue with heavy-duty mechanics. His favorite moments are working all day with Mr. Ray in metal shop to finish his saddle stool for Christmas. Sergey plans to become a Red Seal heavy-duty mechanic and become financially independent before he is 30. Sergei's last words are, "The best time to invest is now, both in yourself, retirement, and your future." Sergei was awarded the district scholarship for his presentation in the area of trades and technology. Sergei is also the recipient of Can4 and Can4 Pulp Scholarship, the Debbie Amaral Scholarship, the FLESS Open Pack Scholarship, the Dennis Hyatt Memorial Mudbog Society Award, the Stuart Nechako Woodlot Association Bursary, and Joel Sherwin Memorial Scholarship. Trael Mitchell Kilpatrick. Trael went to Fort Fraser Elementary, W.L. McLeod, and NVSS before coming to FLESS in grade 10. Trael would like to thank Cindy for all of her support and for always being there. He would also like to thank Miss Dirksen for helping him with his confidence and Miss Parsons for the granola bars. He will always remember cooking and foods. It was pretty fun. Trael's future plans are to sleep and work a lot, and his last words, "I bet Mr. Young's going to be surprised." Jordan Angelina Lepoidovin. Jordan attended Mouse Mountain Elementary before joining us at FLESS in grade 4. She would like to thank her mom and her grandparents for helping her through high school, and Miss Scar, because without her, Jordan feels she would have failed grade 11. Jordan would also like to thank her friend Kaylee Kilpatrick for being a real one. Jordan will never forget drama class with Miss Searle. She plans to become a funeral director and embalmer. Jordan's final words are, "Bye, XOXO." Now Miss Dirksen will carry on with reading.
Madison Evelyn Louie. Okay, Madison Evelyn Louie. Madison attended Fort Fraser Elementary School before joining us in grade 5. She would like to thank her grandmother and mother for always pushing her to be successful, and her sisters Rebecca and Misty for being the biggest supporters. She would also like to thank Crosswalk and Parsons for believing in her from the beginning and helping her to secure a spot on this stage. Madison would also like to thank Lyric for standing beside her since day one and every other friend who has become family. Madison will never forget Art with Nevaeh, a lot of messing around and not working. Madison plans to live out the rest of her days as an adolescent to the fullest and then attempt to change the world. Her last words are, "If I die tomorrow or in 100 years, I will be remembered." Dylan James Malloy. Dylan attended Fort Fraser Elementary before coming to FLESS in 2015. He would like to thank his mom, Jeanette, and dad, Mike, his brother, Austin, his sister, Cassandra, for always being there for him. He would like to thank Mrs. Dirksen and Mr. Schmelik for being helpful and caring. Dylan plans a few years off then to go to post-secondary to further his love of art. Dylan's last words are, "Life's like an overcomplicated Rubik's Cube with no guide to solve it. You'll never get anywhere unless you try." Dylan is the recipient of the Western Inspirational Award. Nevaeh Raven Jerica Newski. Nevaeh attended Fort Fraser Elementary before coming to FLESS in grade 6. She would like to thank both her parents because they got her up for school and helped her, Maddie for being a good company in art, and Talina for always being around when she needed someone. Nevaeh would like to thank Mrs. Best and Mrs. Scar for helping her with her work and for all the company and laughs and for helping her get her on stage today. Nevaeh will always remember the time when she and Talina slipped on the ice and fell in a puddle. Nevaeh plans to go with the flow and see where life takes her. Her last words are, "Don't waste time thinking about the past. Put yourself first. Don't listen to what others think of you, for their own insecurities are not worth it. Peace out, loves." Cohen Brandt Roberts. Cohen came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. He would like to thank his mom and dad for helping to get him to graduate. This will always be the day he will remember. Cohen plans to become a voice actor for a character that doesn't talk. His last words are, "It's not about winning, it's about making sure no one else has any fun." Cohen is a recipient of the Faculty Association of CNC Recruitment Scholarship and the Bessie Whitehead Memorial Scholarship. Rhiannon Robinson. Rhiannon came to FLESS from College Heights Secondary. She would like to thank Mrs. Dirksen, Mrs. Bess, Mrs. Scar, and Nancy Lohate for pushing her to get her here today. She would also like to thank Rebecca Mendoza for being such a great friend. Rhiannon will always fondly remember the time spent working with Nancy, and Rhiannon plans to travel to Japan, the land of anime. Rhiannon's last words are, "Sayonara." Lexa Marie Sanders. Lexa came to FLESS from Mouse Mountain in grade 4. She would like to thank her mom, dad, aunties, uncles, grandparents, and cousins for pushing her to be her best and always being there for her to support her. She would like to thank Mrs. Schmelik for all her help over the years and making leadership so fun. Mrs. Dirksen and Brandy for being the best and most wonderful people in the entire world and making English the best class ever and helping with grad. Lexa would like to thank Mr. Wood for putting up with her for 7 classes, and she apologizes profusely for losing his rocket. Lexa thanks Miara, Shay, Taryn, and Haley for being the best friends she could ask for, and everyone else that made high school fun. She will never forget leadership trips, volleyball tournaments with Natalie, curling provincials with Jalia, Kayla, and Paige, and going through customs in the airport with Heidi. Lexa plans to attend the University of Alberta in September in the Bachelor of Science program. Her last words are, "Well, when life shuts a door, open it back up. That's what doors are for." Lexa was awarded the district scholarship for her presentation in the area of community service. Lexa is also the recipient of the Fraser Lake Sawmill Award, the George Petty Memorial Scholarship, Fraser Lake Medicine Center, Fraser Lake Fire Rescue Scholarship, FLESS Dry Grad Bursary, Village of Fraser Lake Bursary, United Steelworkers Local 424 Scholarship, the Student Leadership Award, and the Integris Credit Union Scholarship. Matthew Michael Scher. Matthew attended McMillan Elementary and W.A. Fraser Middle School before coming to FLESS in 2017. He would like to thank his mom for always being there and supporting him, Mr. Ray for helping him fix his Jeep, and Julian Schmelek for being like a big brother. Matthew will always remember going to basketball provincials in 2018. He plans to pursue a career in the sports industry. His last words are, "You miss 100% of the shots you never take." Matthew is the recipient of the Fraser Lake Sawmills Award and the Fraser Lake District Historical Society Trades Award. Dayton Ricky Cash Smith. Dayton came to FLESS from Quinelli Cole Baker Elementary in 2015. He would like to thank his mom for all the love and support through all the years. He would also like to thank Brandy and Mrs. Scar for always being on him and making him do his work. Alicia Elisa for always being there for him, Darius, Tyson, and Tyrell for being his buddies and for hanging out with him and having all the fun times. Dave will remember all the great sports trips at FLESS. He plans to live life, see where it takes him. His final words are, understand that one day you will have the power to make a difference, so use it well. Cody Joel Van Werkhoven. Cody attended Aldmay International School, then Mouse Mountain Elementary School before coming to FLESS in grade 4. Cody would like to thank his sister, father, and mother for always believing in him. He would also like to thank Mr. Wood for letting him take one more of his classes, Mr. Schmelik for accepting late French work from him, and Mr. Cross for all of his life advice. Cody would also like to thank all his friends for repeating what the teacher had just said and explaining the topic in a way that he would understand. He will always remember all the FLESS sports trips and lunch hour. Cody plans to attend Business University and then start handfall logging. His last words are, only in a Jeep. Cody was awarded a district scholarship for his presentation in the area of trades and technology. Cody is also the recipient of the NTU Closed General Scholarship, the Centera Gold Bursary, CUPE 4177 Scholarship, and the Nechako Lakes Administrators Association Award. Peyton May Weber. Peyton attended Mouse Mountain Elementary before moving to Williams Lake for most of her education, coming to FLESS in 2021. Peyton would like to thank her mom and dad, as well as Brandy and Tyson, for all of their love and support. She would like to thank Mrs. Dirksen for putting up with her during English 12. She will always remember the times she had to be forced to come to English class. Peyton is very glad that she won't be doing grade 12 for a third time, thanks to Brandy. Peyton plans to move away. Probably not. No one in this town ever moves away. Get a better job and start a family. Cheyenne Gabriel Warner. Shay attended MV Beatty Elementary School, Fort Fraser School, and Mouse Mountain before coming to FLESS in grade 4. She would like to thank her family for being there for her and taking care of her. She would like to thank her friends Miara, Lexa, Taryn, and Isaac for being by her side after all these years and always helping her through tough times. She would also like to thank Mrs. Dirksen for teaching her how to write an essay, even though she will be calling from university for help. Mr. Wood for putting up with her all day for 10 weeks straight and making science fun. And Mr. Leduc for teaching her soccer and giving her a scarring nickname. Shay will always remember beef jerky during soccer trips, Natalie's food bag, butting up a picnic table and leaving it, and Lexa losing a rocket in grade 11 physics. Shay plans to go to school to become a vet and hopefully not drop out of university. Her last words are, Mr. Cross is never happy. Shay was awarded a district scholarship for her presentation in the area of physical activity. Shay is also the recipient of the David Bunting Bursary Fund, Fraser Lake and Historical Society Medical Award, the FLESS Grad Bursary, the Regional District Area D Award, Centera Gold Bursary, and the Fraser Lake Area and Area Men's Shed Bursary. Tyrell Edward Joseph Willier. Tyrell attended Mouse Mountain Elementary before coming to FLESS in grade 4. He would like to thank his parents for being there for him since day one. He would also like to thank Tyson for being there for him throughout the years. Tyrell would like to thank Brandy. Without her, he does not know if he would have made it here now. And thanks you for kicking my butt all the time. And Mrs. Scar for always being an open door and giving him snacks. Tyrell would forever remember today as his favorite moment at FLESS. Tyrell plans to go to welding school sooner or later, then get his red seal, find a house, a job, get married, have kids, and live happily ever after. Tyrell's last words are, knock, knock. Who's there? Not Tyrell, that's who. Okay. Isaac John Wood. Isaac came to FLESS from Ballarat Clarendon College and Beaufort Primary School in 2016. He would like to thank his parents for helping and support him through everything, and his brother for being goofy and making him laugh. He would also like to thank Mr. Cross for helping him with all his problems, Mrs. Dirksen for being an amazing English teacher, and Mr. Schmelik for helping him and encouraging him to do more with computers and computer programming and making it a lot of fun. He would also like to thank the boys, you know who you are, and for being kind and supportive. Shay Werner, I'm not saying the rest, for being his best friend, helping him through everything, and being his girl. And Lexa for being helpful and kind. Isaac would never forget basketball trips and playing with the band with Matthias and Cade. Isaac plans to go into biochemistry and molecular biology, expanding his knowledge of science and do something useful for the world. His final words are, don't give up on yourself. You can do it, so just do it. Isaac is the recipient of the NTU Closed Academic Scholarship, the FLESS PAC Open Bursary, the Four Rivers Cooperative Bursary, and the FLESS Staff Bursary.
I want to thank everyone watching and everyone here today for sharing this afternoon with us. Before we send you on your way, I'd like to express our thanks to a number of people who've worked tirelessly to put this event together. First off, a huge thanks to the School District 91 maintenance and custodial crew. As always, they've been available at the drop of a hat up to and including Thursday when we realized we hadn't painted the trim on the front of the stage yet. Without them, we could not have made this happen. I want to thank Kevin and Lori Wallace of Wallace Studios. They've been a huge support this afternoon and a huge supporter of FLESS Grads throughout the years. Jolene Woolsey, Patty Ann Plowman, and Mrs. Plowman's grade 5-6 class for making sure we had a gorgeous set of planters outside for later today. Bryony Hedstrom, Kayla Linton, and Edna Van Workhoven, who are simply the finest office staff in the known universe and who have taken care of a million things that I didn't even know were going wrong this week. Mike LeDuc, for being the best vice principal I could ask for the last week and making sure I was free to make sure this day could happen, and he took care of so much that I'm sure I'm going to find out about on Monday. Heather Dirksen, Ryan Wyatt, and Brandy Best for their words today and the support they've offered these 26 kids over the past many, many years. An enormous thank you to Ron Schmelik. Normally, our grad gets put on with a lot of work from Ron and our yearbook kids. There weren't yearbook kids this quarter, so it was just Ron. And for the last 3 days, Ron has been out of class, in here, finding curtains, finding clips, hanging banners, reclipping banners, making sure the video feed works. If you're watching this at home and you have a chance to thank Ron when you see him this summer, do so, because without him, there is no live stream. Ryan Mickelson for jumping onto the tech crew this week as well and being the man on the spot with all of the scene changes. I get a selfish moment here. I'm going to thank the teachers, support workers, and custodians here at FLESS. In what has been the most abnormal of years, they have stepped up repeatedly in so many ways. They have done so many things to make this afternoon happen, and the support they have offered over the past year has been absolutely spectacular. A huge thank you to the community of Fraser Lake, surrounding areas, and surrounding businesses and organizations. Thanks to their contributions, we received over $31,000 in scholarships this year, and every single student who applied for a scholarship was awarded at least one. And lastly, a huge thank you to Mrs. Heather Dirksen, this year's grad sponsor. Organizing grad starts early. In fact, next year's grad planning will start on Monday. It's an all-encompassing task that goes all year. The effort and dedication that goes into this event is what makes it as great a day as it is. Grads, I hope you please join me in expressing our thanks for everybody. Grads, I have a few reminders for you. Number one, thank Mr. Nielsen on your way out the door. He's a mainstay of this school, and like many of the other people I've named today, does a ton to help this day happen. Number two, Please bring your gowns back on Monday so that we can give your parents their $100 back and send the gowns back to Gaspard Gown Company. Number 3, apparently I hear something about a parade. You might want to be at the mall downtown tonight at 6:30 and it starts promptly at 7. Last but not least, we are all immensely proud of you and your accomplishments, and we would like to enjoy your company for many years to come. As you celebrate this special day, use good judgment, be smart, and be safe. That concludes Grad 2021. Thank you for attending today. Thank you for watching at home. I hope you have a safe and relaxing summer. And thank you for supporting education in Fraser Lake.